Now we move on to a very special presentation. This is a tribute to the extraordinary life and journey of Srimati Rathna Kumar, presented in this landmark year as she celebrates 75 remarkable years of dance leading up to her 80th birthday this October. Ratnamala is a tapestry woven with cherished memories, treasured moments, tall tales, delightful anecdotes, and heartfelt stories from Ratna's inspiring journey. Each thread reflects her passion, perseverance, artistry, and the countless lives she has touched, coming together to celebrate a life devoted to dance, tradition, and the joy of nurturing generations. This unique production has been specially conceived and curated by Srimati Rathna Kumar's loving sister, Srimati Seetha Ranakar, who has been closely associated with her. Originally, this presentation was to have been made by Srimati Rama Bharadwaj. Unfortunately, owing to her ill health, she was unable to travel and be with us today. At our very last minute request, Dr. Anita Ratnam most graciously stepped in to present Ratnamala. Dr. Anita Ratnam, one of India's most distinguished dance artists, a celebrated performer, choreographer, author, curator, and cultural entrepreneur. Through her performances, writings, and initiatives, she has inspired generations of dancers and audiences alike, creating spaces where tradition meets grace and purpose. Dr. Anita Ratnam will now take us through her beautiful narrative. Kritika Sharjit and Seetha Ranakar will also be adding their inputs, weaving them seamlessly into the story of Rathna Kumar's remarkable life. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Anita Ratnam to present Ratnamala.
Namaskaram, good evening. Namaste to all my amazing icons that I admire and everybody who's come. We're gathered because we all love the Nayika of the evening. The Nayika of the evening who has never stopped smiling through a life that has been filled with the ebbs and crests of every experience possible. She has dedicated decades to dance, transforming stages across America, India, and other countries, and beyond with her profound artistry and unwavering commitment to her beloved Natya. But let's start at the very beginning, a very good place to start. October 27th, 1946. A young baby emerges from Mother Anasuya, and already she is moving her arms and legs, and the mother thinks, I think Ratna would be an appropriate name, maybe as a prophecy that she would shine like a star. Wishful thinking, you think? But some dreams do come true. Ratna started learning dance from the hereditary Bharatanatyam guru and dancer Srimati K.J. Sarasa when she was only 4 years old. These days, dance teachers don't accept students before 6. And Ratna had her Arangetram on the 16th of March, 1956, when she was just 9 years old. Her guru, Sarasa teacher, became known as the first Lady Nattuvanar. Ratna was a multifaceted artist from her childhood. She acted in Rupavati and Adrishta Deepudu when she was only 2 years old. 2 years old. And she acted in more than 25 films as a child artist. One of the memorable roles she played in many movies was as Kuti Krishna. She began to be identified with the role of Krishna, and she also
performed one Krishna item for her Arangetram. Still that unmistakable eyes. She became such a popular little Krishna that people still believe that she may have been a huge challenge to Sri N.T. Ramarao if she had continued to do the role. But dance took her away. The dance became Ratna's passion and her reason to live, her raison d'etre. But wait, before we go there is the talk of a whirlwind romance and marriage. It happened in the most unusual way. So Ratna had been selected as producer for Chennai Doordarshan. This was the year 1975, and she was then supposed to go to the Film and Television Institute, FTII, in Pune for further training. She asked for 1 week grace because she had a performance in Hyderabad. Her sister Seetha had gone ahead and the course had started. Seetha is waiting for her akka to come, and then she gets a telegram. Opens the telegram. Not coming. Stop. Getting married. Stop. So what had happened was, Anita Kumar, son of a family friend, was living in Houston, Texas, and he had come on a visit to India and had attended that Hyderabad program. So smitten. They chatted briefly the next day, immediate proposal. Ratna accepted. Now they had known each other from childhood, I'm sure that helped, but the deciding factor was Anil's huge admiration for Ratna as an artist. Now, this is a very creative prenup, listen to me. Ratna made him promise that she would continue her dance career and also that she would visit India every year. 2 conditions. Anil happily agreed. Wedding was on 5th May 1975. But there's another cute backstory. When Ratna was 4 and Anil was 6 years old, they acted in a trilingual movie together called Samsaram. Is there a clip of this? There's a clip. ஆண்டவன் எங்களை மறந்தது போதே அன்னை நீ மறவாதே ஆண்டவன் எங்களை மறந்தது போதே
அன்னை நீ மறவாதே வேண்டியதெல்லாம் ஒரு பிடி சோறு பெருஞ்சோறாயினும் போதும் அம்மா பசிக்குதே தாயே பசிக்குதே நீரில் பிச்சையெடுக்கும் பச்சை குழந்தைகள் பாரோ ஒரு பிடி சாதம் ஒரு பிடி அரிசி ஒரு முழ சந்தையை தாரோ அம்மா பசிக்குதே தாயே பசிக்குதே பாலும் பழமும் வேண்டாம் தாயே பசிக்கு சோறு கிடைத்தால் போதும் அம்மா எம்மை பாரும் பிள்ளை குட்டியை பெற்ற தாய்களே பிச்சை போட்டு பசித்தேனோ உங்கள் பிள்ளைகளால் என்னை பாரும் அம்மா பசிக்குதே தாயே பசிக்குதே அம்மா பசிக்குதே தாயே பசிக்குதே.
Ratna was truly a versatile artist, a gifted singer, a theatre artist. In 1973, she did the lead role of Padmini in Girish Karnad's play Hayavadana, and she also acted with Sri Y.G. Dorasamy and Y.G. Mahendra in the Tamil drama Flight 172. Now, when you talk about versatility, let me tell you my personal story. I first met Ratna as Ratna Papa, as a fashion model. And I'll tell you what brought me and her together. We are just a few years apart. My mother, Anita Ratnam, was a very committed fashion choreographer at that time. It was all a hobby, but she was very good at it. She was always looking for bright, young, pretty faces. And she loved dance. So she has seen Ratna in a performance and she must have just gone and say, you come and join my fashion show. And her mother, of course, must have readily said yes. So at home, in, I think, Bog Road. Yes, Bog Road. And of course, where Ratna comes, Seetha also comes. So Ratna and Seetha were there and we were all together in a fashion show. And that means she's also a model, something that people don't know. Now, besides dance, Ratna's love was also for the English language. She's an English literature graduate, masters in English from Madras University. She taught English at SIT Women's College and later was assistant professor at Queen Mary's College in Chennai.
By the time she got married, Ratna had already performed in many, many places all over India, London, Paris, Germany, Singapore, Malaysia, Sri Lanka. She was the sole woman Indian delegate for the World Theatre Conference in London in 1971. The same year, she danced at the famous Théâtre des Champs-Élysées at a program arranged for the Bangladesh Famine Relief Fund, along with other famous personalities who were on the playbill. Guess who? The Beatles and Pandit Ravi Shankar. She spent 9 months in France working as a Kuchipudi dancer in a film titled Dance de Lande about Indian dance directed by Claude Lamourice. Ratna did Kuchipudi and Saroja Khokar was the Bharatanatyam artist. Ratna started learning Kuchipudi along with her sister Seetha from the legendary guru Vempati Chinnasatyam. They had their Kuchipudi Rangapravesam in 1967 in the esteemed presence of the erstwhile Chief Minister, Sri Annadurai. Incidentally, there was another future minister in the audience, Chief Minister in the audience, but she was only a baby then. We're talking of J. Jayalalitha, who had attended the performance with her mother Sandhya. And then later, Ratna's mother Anusuya took Sandhya and baby Ammu, as she was called, to Sarasa teacher, and that's how that dance training began. Ratna and Seetha gave Bharatanatyam and Kuchipudi performances as a duo for over a decade until marriage took Ratna away to America. Kuchipudi was gaining a lot of popularity, and Ratna did the lead roles in Vempati Master's dance dramas, Parijatam, Kshirasagara Madanam. That's Ratna and Seetha dancing. Parijatam and Kshirasagara Madanam. She had the rare privilege of dancing as Mohini when Vempati Master did the role of Shiva. Another memorable dance drama, Vipra Narayana, which was written by her great uncle Sahitya Academy awardee, Padma Bhushan, Devulupalli Krishna Shastri, was specially choreographed for Ratna by her master. When it was showcased for the first time in Hyderabad, a brilliant singer, guess who? Mangalampalli Balamurali Krishna sang live on stage for the very first time for dance. In 1969, thanks to his long-standing friendship with Ratna's mother, Srimati Vinjamuri Anasuya Devi.
ఎవరే ఈ భక్తుడు? ఎరుగవటే కావేరీ ఒడ్డున పెరుమాళ్ల మాలా కైంకర్యాలకు పూలతోట పెంచే విప్రనారాయణులలే భక్తులు కారటే. అవునా అక్క? ఆ తోటదారిని మనం వీటికి పోకూడదో?
వనలోన తడవుండి తడిసేవు కావోలు చనయంతో వణికేవు లోనికి రావే.
కోవిలలో సన్నాయి కొనుగోలకై పిలిచెనదే పూలేరి సజ్జలోన పూజకై తేవలదో.
ఎంత తడిసావు గాని ఈ దడిని రా రా
కాను సరే అయ్యవారు
ఎంత తడిసావు గాని ఈ దడిని రా రా
కాను సరేనయ్యవారు.
Ratna was a top-ranking Bharatanatyam and Kuchipudi dancer of Doordarshan since 1976. Now, since her sister Seetha was the producer of dance programs at Doordarshan, together this duo did a lot of innovations in digital dance. Of course, that was then the time of analog and big videotapes. Seetha always believed that Ratna should extend her repertoire to other languages, especially for the national program of dance. So her first experiment was with compositions of Subrahmanya Bharatiyar, which received a tremendously positive response. And following that, every national program would include dances in other languages like Marathi, Gujarati, besides other South Indian languages. Ratna moved in 1975 to Houston, Texas, and spent more than 50 years there. Now, when she left India, she had grand plans of doing a PhD, but destiny had other plans for her. Her first dance performance in Houston, just a few days after she arrived, was for the Indian Independence Day, and it was at the Indian Embassy. After the performance, all the Indian mothers just gathered around her and then begged her to take dance lessons for their daughters. Now, unable to disappoint them, she agreed to teach them. And the first classes were run in a restaurant called Maharaja Restaurant, which her husband Anil was running. Her dance school, Anjali Center for Performing Arts, has completed 50 years last year. The Golden Jubilee was celebrated on a grand scale where past and present students performed together on that one stage. That's really a legacy moment there. When Ratna started teaching, the kids at that time had little or no exposure to Indian culture, so she had to innovate and create new methods of teaching. Initially, she had to teach using a mirror image. So instead of having something like this, she would switch it around so the children would be able to actually copy her directly. And she also published few books on gestures and how to learn. She made simple diagrams of the Adavu movements, gave it to the students. She wrote basic Bharatanatyam and Kuchipudi understanding Adavus, books on those, which helped the students gain a better understanding before the invention of videos. As many of them had problems understanding other Indian languages, she choreographed a few songs in their own language, depending on who the student was. She has done so much, of course. In 50 years, she has not just danced, she has pirouetted through life with grace and great acclaim. Now, a life like Rathna Kumar's has to be accompanied with so many encomiums, applause, awards, honors, and citations. To read them and share this long list, I now invite Kritika Shurajit.
Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. What an absolute privilege it is to be here this evening. Dearest Ratna Auntie, esteemed gurus, celebrated artists, fellow members of the artistic community, rising stars and fellow Rasikas, Namaskaram. And wow, what a remarkable story all of us are witnessing this evening. Through dance, music, treasured memories and laughter, through tears too, we have been privileged to witness a life lived with extraordinary purpose. It only remains for me to touch upon some of the many honors and recognitions that have illuminated Ratna Auntie's remarkable life, because clearly and for decades, the world was witnessing too. Her earliest recognitions came from the world she had known and was known in since childhood. Titles such as Natya Kala Praveena and Singar Mani, and honorary doctorate from Potti Sri Ramulu Telugu University, reflected the respect of the classical dance community for a gifted young artist. This was followed by Vishwakala Bharati from Bharat Kalachar in the year 1999. Best Dancer in the Senior category from the Music Academy in 2001. Madhura Kalamani from Karthik Fine Arts in 2016. Natya Visharadha from Sri Krishna Gana Sabha in 2023. As her work expanded from performer and teacher to mentor and cultural leader, so did the recognitions she received. Communities honored not only her artistic excellence, but also her service and leadership through awards from the city of Houston, 1978 and 1981, the city of Bel Air in 1983, the South Asian Chamber of Commerce in 2005, the Mayor of Sugarland in 2007, and the President's Volunteer Service Award 2008. Among the many significant international honors, one stands apart. In 2010, Ratna Aunty received the Sangeet Natak Academy Award, India's highest national recognition in the performing arts. The Academy describes its awards as recognizing the sustained individual work of the highest professional order. Words that truly describe Rathna Kumar's life's work. The years that followed brought a succession of Lifetime Achievement Awards in India and the United States, including honors like Nritya Seva Mani from the Cleveland Tyagaraja Festival in 2006, and the Texas Commission on the Arts 2017, the congressional recognition in 2002, while Dance Source Houston and City of Houston named her Artist of the Year in 2023. Taken together, these honors tell a remarkable story, not simply of artistic excellence, but of a life devoted to preserving, teaching, sharing the rich traditions of Indian classical dance across generations and continents. The medals, citations, and the titles are lasting reminders of her extraordinary journey. But her greatest legacy lives elsewhere, in every disciple who continues to dance and teach others to dance, in every audience whose appreciation and love for Indian classical dance has been deepened, and in every life enriched by her generosity, wisdom, and unwavering devotion to the art form. How could we not be inspired by such a life? Ratna Aunty, on behalf of all of us, we wish you an advance happy birthday. Thank you for your artistry, your vision, your courage, and your grace. And may all the gods who rejoice in dance bless this auspicious milestone in your remarkable journey with happiness, good health, and many, many happy returns. This was supposed to be read out, or rather shared with all of you by Srimati Chitra Sundaram, who couldn't be here today, but it is indeed my blessing. Thank you so much. It is such an honor, such a blessing to be on this stage today. Thank you and namaskaram, Aunty.
Ratna Kumar did not just dance for decades, she pirouetted through convention with a wink and a dare, turning every stage into her personal laboratory of the unexpected. Give her Bharatanatyam meets jazz, she's ready. Next day, she's ready to experiment with something else, always with that signature twinkle that said, rules? What rules? Her humor lit up rehearsals and her experiments lit up audiences, proving that true mastery means never taking yourself or your tradition, but taking your art seriously. In 1995, Ratna founded Samskriti, a non-profit arts organization bridging the East and the West culturally through high quality performances by renowned Indian dancers, many of whom are present in the audience today, including myself. Many of us have been presented by Samskriti in Houston, and so many dancers have benefited not just by the invitation, but by the hospitality and the warmth, and introduced to Houston audiences for the very first time. She further integrated Indian dance and music into the mainstream through multicultural and multidisciplinary productions, such as her much appreciated Transcending Borders, the Ramayana project, with an Indian drama and a Sri Lankan Ravana, a Thai Hanuman, and the Vanaras dancing to Indian and Gamelan Indonesian music, all seamlessly blending into the storytelling of one Hindu epic. With all this, and all the awards, and all the accolades, and all the applause, and all the acclaim, there is a life that has also borne a lot of pain and darkness. Who better to tell us about Ratna's indomitable spirit by taking a page from her personal diary, none other than her BFF, Sister Seetha Ranakar.
Papane, Ratna Papane, Papane, Ratna Papane, Vayari Muddula, Vayari Ratna Papane, Ratna Papane. I have often been mistaken for Ratna. I even respond when people call me Ratna Papa, and I believe I'm an alter ego, you know, sometimes. So I don't mind it. I'm not complaining, because I love to be known as Ratna Papa, but even more as her sister. I'm so proud to be your sister. I'm sorry that I have to read because I speak, but I think I've just been busy arranging everything, so I'm going to read out, but it's all from my heart, written from my heart. Today, I'm really tempted to impersonate her, seeing the galaxy of luminaries gathered here. But I've always looked up to Ratna, you know. Akka, I think I was your first Rasika from my childhood. I loved to see your dance, and I loved to hear teachers' music. Teachers' singing was so divine. I used to love it. And I remember you dancing from as far back as my memory goes. And I remember those days in your Margam, you had 2 intermissions, and teacher used to sing during that time. The audience used to listen to her mesmerized, because that's how beautiful her music used to be. I was also a big fan of teacher's music. Then, unfortunately, after a few years, teacher started losing her voice. And that's when my mother thought that I should fill that gap. When teacher couldn't sing those 2 songs, Ratna needed 2 costume changes. So I became a default dancer. Initially, I became a default dancer. Fortunately, I was already learning Kuchipudi from Empati Chinna Satyam Master, because his school was down the street, 5 buildings away. My mother thought I'm sitting joblessly at home, so go and learn dance from him. Then she saw, after 1 year of classes, Nannave Adra Parvale teacher, and she took me to Sarasa teacher. And she said, okay, let us start dancing with Ratna. So I learned Jatiswaram first, and then a Padam, which I had no clue what it was when I performed it, wearing Ratna's costume. Evvade nenu pavalinchina vela puvu banamu vesi ravva chesi poe. You think I knew the meaning of that when I was 11 years old? I was a gawky 11-year-old, but I did it.
I was so happy to be wearing Ratna's costumes and dancing with her on stage. I just danced with great glee. It took a lot of rigorous training before teacher allowed me to do even Alaripo and Kautvam along with Ratna. Individual solos, while she changed costume, was okay for a while. But I had to practice very, very hard to be able to dance along with Ratna. I had to catch up on her 6 years of training. Oh, not 6, it was longer. And we did dance for about a decade, and I enjoyed every bit of it. I enjoyed traveling with you. I enjoyed going to all those wonderful places that we saw, the audiences for whom we performed Akka. And I can't forget dancing in Singapore, Malaysia, Sri Lanka. I was barely in my teens. My God, it was all larger than life. That huge national stadium where we did Palvadiyum Mukam, and of course our Maragata Mani, you know, how many memories it brought back, how many times both of us have performed it together. So it has been great. It has been a great journey with you so far. But Akka, in retrospect, I wonder whether there was a deeper meaning for Amma and all making me a dancer. You know, I mean, I was just joking about the default dancer, but they must have had more understanding of life than I could at that age. You were barely in your teens when you and Dumbu, our brother Krishna, were stricken by this horrible disease, smallpox. And I think they didn't expect both of you to survive. Overnight, Amma had to take me and our younger sister Kamla and shift to another house. And we were not allowed to see you for 6 months. I could never understand why we stood in the corner of the street and Amma would be sobbing while she was getting updates from across the wall from far away, and why we couldn't see you, why we couldn't see the rest of the family. I was too young to understand. I couldn't fathom what you would have gone through at that tender young age. After about 6 months, when we were allowed to come back home and see you, to me, you looked as beautiful as ever, Akka. I didn't see any difference. I was so happy to be back home, so happy to be back with you. And of course, everybody else was overjoyed that both of you survived. And how did you survive, Akka? You rose like a phoenix from the ashes. And you proved that you are a dancer of substance. You didn't let all these illnesses come in the way of your art. You proved to the world that beauty is just skin deep, that art is a much deeper, and you went on to win so many awards, accolades, and took the world by storm with your dance. You had so many performances. Almost every weekend we were out traveling to some place or the other. So your resilience is just amazing, how you came out of it. I'm sorry if I didn't understand what you went through at that age, Akka, but I understood much later what it was and what you must have gone through. I really didn't know what it meant at that. I was too young. But then I understood why Amma and all got me to dance along with you, to support you, to be of help to you. It took me some time. I mean, it took me many, many years to understand what you must have gone through. Life has been very beautiful to you, has given you lots of wonderful moments, but has also given you a lot of jolts. And I want to share it with all our friends here because I want them to know what kind of inner strength you have, what all you have survived, and what all you have, the adversities that you have managed to overcome in your life. The first big jolt, of course, after that life was pretty good. You got married, you had your family, everything was going beautifully. And then the first big tragedy in your life was when you lost Anil Kumar, my brother-in-law, in 2015. I'm sorry, Akka, I didn't mean to. I shouldn't. And he was such a support to you, and you were suddenly absolutely left with no support whatsoever. Yet you didn't give up. You had your 40th anniversary of Anjali. You didn't even know what to do. You were like a rudderless person, lost completely, but you did it. You had a 6-hour performance with all your students. You did the 40th anniversary because you knew that Anil would have wanted you to do it, and you continued. You did it, and I was there to help you. And next year, very next year, we lost our dear Amma Pinni, who was, everybody here knows that she was like another mother to us. You were a caregiver, you took so much care of her, and that was another huge loss. And 3 years later, we lost our dear Amma, and one after another, and the void was just getting worse. But the biggest shock of all was losing our dearest Kedar in 2020. Life has not been the same for any one of us, I know. And you actually just wanted to give up dance. You never wanted to go on a stage again. You wanted to give up everything, I know. But Akka, it's dance that has helped you survive. It is dance that has helped you come out of this sorrow. Dance has been like your sheet anchor, and you have managed to cross so many storms. And I am so glad that I could be of a little minuscule support to you when you were facing all these terrible tragedies in your life. I'm glad that I could be there for you. And then I think both of us started concentrating on work to keep ourselves busy. I was also living alone, so were you. And then we thought nothing like collaborating and doing some good work. And we started working together. I started helping you with costumes, with concepts, with lighting. You made me learn new skills. I started reinventing myself for you. And in the process, I learned so many new things. And we have done some wonderful collaborative work together. Please play the... Anshuman, about the sun as a life-giving force.
Talangu takatiku takata rikita takatai. Talangu takatiku takata rikita takata. Kunta riku kunta rikta. Rikta kunta kunta ta. Kunta rikta.
Dashavataram, which you did so elaborately. We've worked for it for months together.
Yuge Yuge, I will appear in every age.
Samagari Masanida Gamariga Danidasa Gachapa Dashana Shikhare Dharani Tavalagna Shashini Kalankakale Vanimagma Keshava Hrita Nukararu Keshavaadhrita Sukara Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Narahari Rupa Keshava Narahari कल की शरीर केशवा सरेगा पदा निसा
So, even though we both live in two different countries, continents in fact, so far away from each other, we have been able to work together because in fact, I would say we are a powerhouse of creativity working together thanks to all the modern internet, FaceTime, video calling, everything. We are able to work together and do all this creative work together. More power to you, Akka. And may God give you the strength to continue with your amazing work. And may I always be a part of it because you're unstoppable and you are Papave, Ratna Papave, Vayari Muttula, వయ్యారి రత్న పాపవే రత్న పాపవే. థ్యాంక్ యూ.
I know we're all smiling, applauding, but when grief strikes, when tragedy hits, it not just hits our heart, our spirit, but it affects us physically, as it did for Ratna. There were days and weeks when she couldn't get out of bed, or didn't feel like getting out of bed, or when putting one foot in front of the other required tremendous effort. But what pulled her away? What pulled her out of this well of sadness were her students. Students were waiting, classes were waiting, arangetrams were to be completed, and only Ratna could do it. And that's how dance gave her the rope, the life rope, once again, to embrace life and its routines. So Ratna returned, the artist in her took over. And when Abhay, the Association of Bharatanatyam Artists of India, conferred on her the Pravasi Nritya Acharya Award in 2023 and requested her to dance, Ratna returned to the stage once again. She knew there was going to be a discerning audience at the Bharati Vidya Bhavan. And it was a fundraiser for the Meenakshi temple. Was this it? No, we didn't have that. Okay. We didn't have that moment. But she came back once again, and I think it was a renewed lease of life, right, for you? And I know now that she's asked me, she still has so much to give, rare padams of Vempati Garu and Kuchipudi Abhinaya that she wants to do. And the wonderful thing about our art, that as we mature, as time passes, we still have the art with us. It's up to us to make art our partner in our life journey. So, finish this. Okay. We're coming to the end of our wonderful accolade, the Ratnamala, the NAVARATNA. And one thing we have to admire is that Ratna has a zest for life. The way she meets all of us, the way she smiles, makes us smile. And she credits this zest for life from her mother, Vinjamuri Anasuya Devi, and her aunt, Vinjamuri Seetha Devi. And she says she's imbibed her passion for dance from her two illustrious gurus, Kalaimamani K.J. Sarasa and Padma Bhushan Vempati Chinnasatyam. Ratna, as you get ready to celebrate your 80th birthday this October, I know your greatest wish is to continue to teach, to dance, and to create for as long as you have breath. That's every dancer's wish. But it's through your decades of devotion and dedication that you've not only preserved the essence of your beloved forms, but you've also pushed the boundaries, and you've earned acclaim as a true maestro whose influence will endure through your students and your audiences for generations. Happy birthday, congratulations. And ladies and gentlemen, Ratna Papa Kumar. Stand up, please. Thank you, Seetha, for giving me this wonderful opportunity. And we continue now to look for the rest of the program. Thank you so much.